Adam Brimo is 2011 Choice Magazine Consumer Activist of the Year, co-founder of openlearning.com.au, and a recipient of the 2011 UNSW Alumni Graduate Awards. Another big award winner. In fact, this time I got them all right. In December 2010, Adam started Vodafail. Jeez, did they fail. Which attracted over 19,000 complaints from Vodafone customers nationwide. The media coverage was huge and resulted in a 1 billion mobile network upgrade. In 2011, Adam founded, is it Mijura? Mijura.com with some cool guy from India. And Melissa Rand to develop a widely used and innovative team management application. Adam then joined world-renowned UNSW Professor Richard Buckland to found openlearning.com, a social online learning platform, which is very cool if you actually go to the site. Over 15,000 students have joined courses, including the first massive open online courses from Australia and Malaysia. Tonight, Adam will be talking to us about why your product needs to be social. Adam, thank you very much.
Welcome, everyone. So I'm going to talk a bit about how you can make your product a bit more social and engaging and what that actually means. Now, I've done two somewhat big things. One of them was this Vodafail campaign, which attracted about 20,000 complaints from Vodafone users nationwide. And the other is Open Learning, which is really a social online learning platform. And what that means is you can run your courses on Open Learning for your business or for your university or your school and invite all your employees and staff and students. Now, there's a lot of talk about social, and a lot of things can pass as social. But social is a lot more than just putting a Facebook button or a like button or a tweet button on your website. You really have to make your product engaging and useful. And a lot of what social is about creating something that's worth sharing. That, you know, not just about online, but when you're providing a service, you want people to be talking about it. And whether they're talking about it in person or on Facebook, that benefits you. And you want as many people to be used to that as possible. Now, having something that's social is also about caring with your customers, showing that you care about what you're doing, that you care about their needs and their wants. And that creates a really social, engaging atmosphere for the people you're working with. And that's really super important too. Now, the other thing with that is creating something that engages people. Now, you want people to feel that they're part of what you're doing. You're not just providing a service for them. You're not working for them. You're really working with them. And when you engage your customers and the people you're working with in providing that solution. So for us with Open Learning, that's really engaging people in what we do on the platform. So we build a piece of software, and that's really important to people, and they love using it. But we have to engage them on the changes we're making, in the features we're adding, and the needs that they have. Now, when you have something that's worth sharing, you can put it on Facebook and Twitter, but really they're just magnifying what's actually happening. So with Vodafail, when I started that, people were sharing their experiences and their problems. Now, if those problems weren't genuine, then they wouldn't have bothered sharing those in the first place. So it's about creating something that you really do care about sharing. But Facebook and Twitter don't actually create that social element. They just magnify whatever you're doing in your business. So just putting those buttons on the site isn't going to help. You have to actually create that environment, create that spot where people can engage with you. But one of the tricky things today, meaning that a lot of things that happened in the past are less possible, is that Facebook and Twitter and these other social networks don't do as good a job at magnifying that as they used to. Previously, when you posted something on Facebook or Twitter, it would immediately go out to everyone who has connections or likes or friends. But that doesn't happen anymore. Now Facebook has things about sponsorship. They actually change people's news feeds so that you don't see everything that's coming through. And that makes it really difficult to get the message out. So you really have to make your product even more engaging, more social, to help people do it. So it's really up to you. You've got to change the way you deliver your product or service to bring people on board more, to make them think about how they can help with what you're doing. Because inevitably, you're going to run into challenges when you're running your business, delivering your service. And one of the key things there is making sure that it's not an us against them. You know, and this is something that Vodafone had a bit of trouble with as well. You're providing a service, but you're working together on the solution. So when you're actually going through that process, when you're running into challenges, you want people to be reaching out to their friends for help, not just going to your support site. You want them to be finding ways that they can reach you in much better ways. So not just having an email address or a phone number, but you also have to have a support site and other emails, because when people are frustrated, and angry, they don't know where to look. They're just going to try and click around and try and find the easiest way to reach you. So you want to have lots of ways to reach you, because you don't want them to be frustrated by the time they get you on the phone. You don't want to have some fancy call system that makes it seem like you're a big company with tons of operators. Then you have to, they press 5 buttons and then they get to a human at the other end. So the other thing that you have to really think about is making your product really familiar and easy to use. And that's a really big thing for us, because obviously we create a software platform. But it goes for everything, I think. You have to have a model that's really simple, that people get straight away, that they understand how to use, that they know how to set things up if not everything is going to work correctly, and that they can really get answers quickly and get support and information quickly. Because that's all people really want to know. They just want to be informed. So when you're doing this, you're really just working with everyone, working with your customers. You're on the same side as them. And this is something that we've been able to do pretty well with open learning so far, and that's when people have issues or they want new features, it's never a demand, say, I need this, can you do it for me now? It's always, I love this platform, I just wish it had something extra. And then we work together with the person on putting that extra thing in. So it's never a one-way relationship. But that's not always going to be easy. I mean, one of the things that you probably understand is that it's tough, things go wrong, you screw up. And the real thing about that is people understanding that there's a human on the other end who cares about their problems, who knows what they're going through, and can provide some real honest answers. Because sometimes things just won't work. And customers can get angry and upset. So the thing I say is, keep cool. Don't worry. It's going to be good. And what you have to do is just communicate that. So sometimes people will be upset when something goes wrong. And, that's natural. We all get upset. I certainly got upset when my phone didn't work with Vodafone. But what you want to do is have sort of an inverse reaction. So if someone is really angry and emotional, upset, you don't be taken aback. Say, hey, that's cool, You'll be the opposite, but much happier and bubbly. And that way you kind of balance things out. That's kind of what we find. So if anyone's really, a bit upset, we just try and make them a bit more happy. But once you do that, at the end of the day, your customers will be like, that person really tried. They did some things really well. And you'll probably end up solving their problem, and they'll feel like they're on your side, and you'll feel like you're all working together. And that's been a really key thing for us, because with online learning, particularly with universities, it's hard to break into the large sort of market. Universities are very big and bureaucratic. So we really need to work off the word of mouth from the professors and the students. So making sure they're always happy and on board is a really key thing for us. So once they are, they'll start talking, and they'll share it on Facebook and Twitter. And one of the interesting things with Vodafail is that it was a really social thing, but we never really had a Twitter account or a Facebook account. People actually just did that on their own because they felt engaged and motivated. And once you do that, they'll take care of it for you. And I think you're all done, just like me. Thanks.